మనీ మనీ
సార్ చెప్పండి సార్.
మనీ వినిపిస్తుందా?
వినిపిస్తుంది చెప్పండి సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే. అదే ఇందాక నేను అడ్మిన్ అదే ఇచ్చేయమని కోహోస్ట్ చేయమని అడిగాను.
ఓకే ఓకే సార్, చేశాను సార్ నేను.
ఓకే ఓకే
సార్, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ సెట్?
ఓకే సార్. సార్ వినిపిస్తుందా బాలు సార్?
బ్రహ్మాండంగా ఉంది సార్.
ఓకే 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 గుడ్ సార్. ఈ రోజు ఎర్లీగా వచ్చారు సార్ మీరు?
నిన్న మమ్మల్ని వెనక్కి తోసేశారు సార్, 100 మంది వచ్చేసాము.
లేదు లేదు, నేను అదే ప్రిన్సిపల్ గారు కొంచెం ఫాస్ట్ గా వచ్చి మాట్లాడేసి వెళ్ళిపోయారు, వర్క్ ఉందని. ఇంకా వెంటనే స్టార్ట్ చేసింది. యాక్చువల్ గా 4 కదా స్టార్ట్ అవ్వాల్సింది సార్. బాలు సార్
ఓకే ఓకే, ఇట్స్ ఓకే అంటున్నా. యూట్యూబ్ లో లాగిన్ అయ్యామంటున్నా నిన్న.
ఓకే 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 సరే సార్, అయితే బాయ్ సార్.
బాయ్.
సార్ హలో
Hello.
యా సార్ గుడ్ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ ఎస్ సార్ గుడ్ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ సార్
So,
Sir.
shall we?
హాయ్ సార్
Hi. We'll begin.
1 second 2 minutes sir, wait for 2 minutes.
Yeah. Sure.
Sure. మనీ నేను మనీ ఈ నెంబర్ పెట్టుకోమ్మా మనకి, ఎందుకంటే నేను దానికి జూమ్ కనెక్ట్ చేసాను, మొబైల్లో లాగిన్ అయ్యానులే. ఏమైనా అవసరం అయితే సడన్ నేను దీంట్లో చేస్తాను, నన్ను ఈ నెంబర్ సేవ్గా పెట్టుకో.
Hello.
Iporadangal had a minutes ఉంది.
మూవ్ చేయబట్టు
Because completed your course.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Sir, what else, sir? Shall we start, sir?
Yeah, we can start.
Yeah. One second.
Because completed your course.
Hello. Yes, sir. One second.
Yeah.
Hello. Sir, what else, sir? Shall we start, sir?
Please mute the
Yes, sir.
participants. Sir.
One second. Yes, very good afternoon, my dear participants. Yes, today one more beautiful session by Vadivelan Palaniraj. He is one of Chief Innovative Officer, Work Companion LLP, Gurgaon. And I read out a small brief introduction about him. So he received a BTech degree in Pondicherry and as well as a PG degree and also Pondicherry. And then he's a specialization under electrical drives and control systems. And coming to the work experience and achievements, so he has total more than 15 years of industrial and research experience. And recently 2013 research and development power generator by perpetual motion, and 2016 research and developed product smart energy meter with thermal bill printing technology, and 2017 research on solar panels with graphene, and 2018 he filed 4 number of designs patents for wireless power transfer system, and 2019 developed new wireless power transfer technology product. 2020 filed main patent for wireless power transfer system, and current experience from 2018 to 2020 designed as Chief Innovative Officer at Work Companion LLP. Previous experience and 2016 to 2018 and working as a research assistant to scientist Dr. M. Sridharan, MSc, PGDCA, PhD, pursuing research work for the project of power generation. And previously working as a research analyst of R&D department and Copper Busman and Copper Busman India Private Limited, Pondicherry, and the company profile he founded in 1833, and he working as R&D analyst. Achievements, research title HRC fuses. HRC fuses are high repeating capacity fuses. Previous experience also design application engineer and Blue Horizon Services Chennai 2011 to 2013, And achievements: developed SCADA system for automation control in solar power plant. And these are his achievements. I congratulate sir, and a very warm welcome to you, sir. 5-day faculty development program on behalf of Patla Engineering College, Triple Department. So a warm welcome to all the participants. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And hand out to Vadivelan, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Vijay.
Sir.
Hello everyone. So today I'm just going to share my experience, which I was working past 8 years in solar power plant industries, and finally I'm also venturing to a new entity in wireless power transfer system. We are going to combine the firm and entity with the Taiwan firm. We're going to collaborate with the Taiwan firm, and we're going to start doing the research on wireless power transfer.
Sir, kindly share your screen, sir.
Yeah, let me share my screen.
Yeah.
So basically, let's begin the session. I'll just give the brief solar system which was invented by Edmond Becquerel, a French scientist. He determined that light could increase the electricity generation when two metal electrodes were placed into a conducting solution. So in past years, uh, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yep, there is some technical glitch. Yeah. I think now you can see my screen.
Yeah. It's visible.
Yeah. So, our Indian government has targeted to generate 20 gigawatts power in 2020, but they already achieved 37.62 gigawatts in this 2020. And the first state to generate maximum solar power 1,300 megawatts is Telangana. So there is a need of power. There is a need of renewable energy due to the resources lack in resources in future. So there is different way of renewable energy, but people are still focusing on solar power plants, solar power production, which means there is a boom. But there is a lag in solar power plant which has high maintenance, and the cost efficiency of the solar cells is day by day it's drastically increasing. So people can't able to sustain the system to commercialize into our place. So for that, there are different scientists, different technologies that they have found to make utilize the solar energy, solar power efficiently. So I have prepared some slides. Let's go through it. So first of all, we have to know the basic, so introduction to solar power generation. So everyone know about it, but I'm just going to play some videos so you can able to refresh it. Can you see my video?
Yes, sir. Is it visible?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
నాకు ఇస్తాను. లేకపోతే రిక్యూర్ ఉంది.
Sir, audio is not available, sir. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Sir, sir, audio is not available, sir. It's not audible. I
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
audio.
sir.
Yes.
Now check now.
So it's not working, sir. It's not available.
Still it's not available. Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
Let me try.
These waves can range in length from short
Yeah,
ultraviolet
yeah, sir.
waves
It's coming, sir.
as a spectrum to long
fine.
infrared waves.
Yeah, yeah.
When the sun is shining, these waves move towards the Earth and hit the surface of the solar cells. Let's take a closer look. The active part of a solar cell is a wafer made of semiconductive material, typically silicon. A semiconductor is a type of material that normally doesn't conduct electricity well, but it can be made more conductive under certain conditions. The semiconductor part of the solar cell has 3 layers. The thin top layer contains silicon and a very tiny amount of an element such as phosphorus that has more electrons than silicon. This gives the top layer an excess of electrons that are free to move and make the material more conductive. The top layer is also called negative type or N type, as it favors the collection and transport of electrons. The thin bottom layer contains both silicon and an element such as boron that has fewer electrons than silicon. This gives the bottom layer fewer electrons.
Sir, sorry for the
that are
interruption,
free
sir.
to move. Therefore, less conductive
Hello.
electrons.
Hello.
Tell me, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, can you enable your video, sir? Okay, sir. That's so we are connected to YouTube Live, so that I kindly ask you to enable your video, sir.
Sir, one kind request.
1 second, madam, please.
If other than the host, can
Yes,
I
ma'am.
say, sir?
Yes.
If other than the host, if everyone is turning off their videos, then probably the bandwidth will be less and the transmission will be good.
Wavelengths. Spectrum. Ultraviolet wavelengths are so short they stop at the surface.
Galaxy A7, one of the
Sir, voice means audio is not available. Sir. Hello. 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 Hello, sir. Hello.
Sir, am I audible now?
Yeah, is right now, sir. Yeah, sir. Right now is audible, sir.
Yeah, I'm turning off the video because the bandwidth is very low because the participants are 100 in number. I'm turning
Yeah,
off.
okay. Okay, sure.
Share the screen. Okay, I'm
Yes.
resuming.
Electrons, making it marginally p-type. Thin metal lines, typically made of silver, are printed on the top N-type layer, and the bottom p-type layer is in contact with an aluminum plate. When light waves hit the top surface of the silicon solar cell, only light with wavelengths from a specific window of the solar spectrum, 350 to 1140 nanometers, are absorbed into the middle layer of the solar cell. This range of wavelengths includes the visible spectrum. Ultraviolet wavelengths are so short they stop at the surface, and infrared wavelengths are so long they can't be absorbed and pass right through the cell or are reflected back. The light wave knocks an electron off a silicon atom, setting the electron loose and leaving an area of positive charge, a hole, where the electron used to be. The loose electron then moves towards the top and reaches the top N-type layer, which readily accepts electrons. Similarly, the loose hole moves towards the bottom and reaches the bottom p-type layer, which readily accepts holes. This continues as long as sunlight shines on the solar system. Now that the electrons and the holes have been separated, connecting a wire between the top and the bottom metal electrodes provides a pathway for the electrons to move through the holes. Flow of electrons is electrical current. One solar cell produces several watts of power. This may be running a calculator or a phone charger, but it's not sufficient for running a toaster, for example, which uses 1,000 watts. So, several solar cells, typically 32, are wired together to make a solar panel. Several solar panels are needed to generate enough electricity to power a household. As leaves generate food for plants directly from the sun's rays, solar cells are a viable way to convert the sun's rays directly into electricity that we can use. Future challenges include improving the efficiency by which a solar cell converts sunlight to electricity and making the solar energy cheaper. Of course, solar cells produce electricity only during the day, so storing the electricity
అందుకనే జూమ్ కొంచెం బాగా పాపులర్ అయింది దానివల్ల
Advancements in new technologies present the potential to power our lives if we.
So this is the basic and work function of introduction of solar system. Now let's go for let's move on to the slides. So types of solar cells and efficiency. So past decade, we are researching on a lot of solar cells with a lot of chemical and semiconductor material. So the top 10 listed was tested in different labs in California and Singapore in China. So I have gathered those information, the top 10 solar cell and its efficiency. So the common one is multi-junction solar cell. Everyone knows our day-to-day life. We are using the same cell pattern, but the efficiency is still maintaining to 39.2 from actually it is 36.5. And tandem perovskite cells, this is 30 percentage efficiency, and gallium arsenide and cells. This is the gallium is the future power generation and power storage, you can say. Let me explain on the next slide detail about the gallium. So this cell, its efficiency is 30 percentage, and monocrystalline cell is 26.1 percentage. Unstabilized perovskite cells 25.2 percentage, and thin film CIGS cells. These cells are used for power banks and some of these smartphones, wireless charging by using solar bags, flexible solar bags. So for that product, they will use thin film CIGS cells. Its efficiency is 23.4 percentage, and polycrystalline cells 22.8 percentage, cadmium telluride cells 22.1 percentage. Then organic solar cell. This is one of the future solar cells, we can say, because the efficiency is 17.4 percentage, but they're trying to improve the efficiency. By the way, this organic solar cell is very cheaper in cost, so this we may consider for the future power generation in solar. Next one is dye-synthesized solar cell, 12.3 percentage. The efficiency is low, but this technology, dye-synthesized solar cells, can be used to generate power even when it's rain. So now latest advance in solar power plants, they are following bifacial solar power plants panels. So there is a Canadian Solar CS3U 365PBFG. Its efficiency is 23.80. These are two phases, the front and back side. It's able to generate the power. The back side, due to the reflection of snow, already ultraviolet rays and infrared rays, they get reflected not only by the plain surface or sandy surface, it's also get effectively reflected by the snow and also the forms. So these kind of solar plants only we can install in snow and farms and valleys, but we can't able to install these kind of solar plants in home terrace like that, because the reflective surface will be very low. So this is one of the achievement, we can generate power very efficiently and effectively too. Next, alt device. Alta device is a gallium arsenide, any light source lamination. It's basically, you can say gallium is called a gang charge. That's one of the kind of graphene. The gallium used to power the solar cells, and it's very efficient to generate power. Next, multi-junction cells from Spectra Lab, STE LITT, 7% efficiency. This kind of cells it works with very low light intensity. And next about fuses. So solar power plant, there is a lot of losses and transients will happen in solar power generation also. So we need to use protect the solar panels as well as the batteries and the controllers. We need the fuses. So Cooper Busman, when I was working in Cooper Busman, now it's company changed into Eaton, powered by Eaton Groups, the world power sourcing number third company. They usually maintain, you can say, entire US solar power plant and the tidal power plant projects are done by Eaton and Cooper Busman. So they basically produce, manufacture chunky amount of fuses like HRC fuse, high rupturing capacity fuse, and solar PV fuse. So basically, these fuses are silicated by a silicated sand inside, and they used to uh, do a silicated solution with a reverse osmosis process inside the fuse. There is a thin element which is made of silver. Silver has a good conductive and also rupturing capacity. So where are these fuses and how we can choose the power range? So solar panel over 50 watts have 10 gauge wires capable of handling up to 30 amps of current flow. In case if you are using 30 amps fuse, it's required each and every panel should install the fuse separately. If you are using a smaller than 50 watts, and you can use only 12 gauge wires and 20 amps fuse are required. So where are the place we have to place the fuses in the solar power generation? The fuses should be arranged in the next to the solar panels and the controllers, charge controllers area to safeguard the charge on the battery connection between the charge controller and the batteries. And also from the batteries to the inverter, we need to have a fuse to safeguard the inverter semiconductors components. So the recommended inverter cable and a breaker or fuse size I have mentioned here. So if you are choosing the inverter for voltage 12 volt, continuous watts 3000, then fuse size you have to choose 400 amps DC. And if you are choosing 24 volt and the continuous wattage is 600, 800 and 1000 wattage, then you have to choose the fuse amps for 50 to 100, you can say. So next we go to the advanced solar technology that we are working on is graphene. You can say graphene. So graphene is it's an allotrope of carbon. It's a single layer of carbon formed from a layer of atom in a two-dimensional hexagonal lattice in which one atom forms with each vertex and it's collaborated and it's formed together like an honeycomb shape. Graphene is very strongest element in the planet. You can say it is 200 times stronger than steel. We can in the future world is heading to graphene and you can say the gallium. That's the future world. So these single layer carbons they're going to play in daily to day life our product we are using and also the electronics components changes and also the power generation. So where are the place and how graphene layer is useful for generating power uh, during the rainy time? We can see by a small introduction video. Rainwater can generate power with the solar panel. Adding of graphene, a single carbon atom. These atoms are arranged in honeycomb structure. So due to dye synthesize the solar cells, placed a flexible thin layer indium oxide underneath. Graphene has the property to allow electrons to move freely on the edge. When rainwater falls on this solar panel, rainwater which contains ammonium, calcium, and sodium, these are positive charges. So the double layer of positive charges at both the side and the middle of the negative electron flow, which cause the voltage and current. Yeah. So when the water actually clings into the graphene layer and it forms a pseudo capacitor type, which is the graphene electrons will pass to it. So it's called pseudo capacitor. The energy difference between these two layers and is stored generate the electricity. So graphene is the next level of power generation in solar panels. Then gallium arsenide is a light sensitive nanoparticle. Recently, a group of scientists in University of Toronto, they believe that a new type of light sensitive nanoparticle, which are colloidal quantum dots, like a quantum theory, like a colloidal quantum dots. So these kind of technology, gallium and you can say GaN and graphene, they used to generate power during the rain time at any climatical difference, and also the efficiency is day by day it was drastically increasing. So the next I want to share you something. These are the basic thing, and these are the advanced technology we are working on the solar power generation. And now I was working on the cell dimension of solar power plant that we can say. Why can't the cell always will be either in a rectangle or round shape? Why can't it will be in a hexagon shape? So there is a technology that we are working on, like a fisheye technology. I think everyone knows about the fisheye technology. That's the lens, camera lens, or using day by day. So the maximum amount of radiation the sunlight emits, the visible light, it's on mostly on the blind spot because the direction of the sunlight from the east to west is during the time it was slowly decreased, and so we need to adjust the solar panel. We need to move the solar panel by using the SCADA softwares according to the high light beam. So we need to move the entire solar panel systems. To avoid that, why can't we can use fish eye lenses over each solar cells? That means each solar cells will look like a bubble pepper like that. So we will get a 360 view, and the light will emit and light will absorb easily to the silicon layer. So there will be a very less loss of sunlight. So we can generate more effectively, more efficiently. We can generate power by also placing a graphene layer top of it, and we can also able to make a flexible solar panel that can last long because graphene has a strongest life. Let me explain you about the difference between the graphene and graphite.
Although the former is derived from the latter, there are certain distinct differences in their function in numerous other industries too. Graphite and graphene are two such materials which have found widespread application in various industrial sectors. Although the former is derived from the latter, there are certain distinct differences in their features. What is graphite? Graphite is a naturally occurring mineral, which consists of multiple layers of single plain carbon atoms. This is most commonly used today in making lead for pencils after mixing it with clay. It was earlier mistaken for lead as it shares several similarities in their atomic structure, which coincides with other carbon groups. Graphite is found naturally in metamorphic rocks in most continents, including South America, Asia, and a few parts of North America. Graphite is formed when reduction of sedimentary carbon compound results from metamorphism. Surprisingly, the chemical bond between the carbon atoms in graphite has been found significantly stronger than those of diamond. Properties of graphite. Extensive research since the last century has resulted in finding the excellent qualities of graphite. It has efficient electric conductivity, excellent heat conductivity, highest natural stiffness, impressive strength, can work in temperature exceeding 3600 Celsius, effectively resistant to chemical reactions, and self-lubricating. Graphite is known as being one of the strongest and toughest forms of carbon compound and has numerous applications today. What is graphene? Graphene is another excellent form of a carbon compound. It is unique as it is formed from a single layer of lattice-shaped carbon atoms. The carbon atoms share their electron with 5 other carbon atoms in a singular plane, thus making a hexagonal honeycomb-like structure. Properties of graphene. Once graphene is isolated from its source mineral, it shows distinct properties. Graphene sheets are found to be impressively strong, and the material is considered to be one of the strongest materials known to man. In comparison with the structure made from standard 836 steel, graphene is immensely strong. It has strength of 130 gigapascals, making it over 40 times stronger than even diamond. Graphene has excellent electrical conductivity properties as there is a free pi electron for each carbon atom. All in all, graphene is significantly superior to graphite and even your standard structural steel. The excellent heat and electrical conductive properties of this material make it excellent to replace many conventional battery components. Ticketshow has been the leading graphene suppliers in India. The company has been exporting high-quality graphene in various forms for numerous applications to customers all over the world. This is the real difference between graphene and graphite.
So this is about the difference between the graphene and the graphite. Also, the gallium arsenide GAAS is a thin film solar cell have reached nearly 30% efficiency in the laboratory experiment. But there is a its cost is expensive. Both the graphene and the gallium, its cost is expensive. But there is a researcher in California. They came with a solution to make a convert a carbon atom, any kind of carbon atom, like any kind of waste, like plastic waste uh, or food waste, any kind of carbon atoms into graphene by emitting a light source. That means the flashing a light source, they can able to convert any kind of non-usable carbon atom into usable graphene. It's very cheap, and the research is very successful, and we also trying to implement the same thing to increase the productivity in graphene in mass level, because 1 gram of graphene which cost around you can say 300 US dollars 1 gram. So we already developed conductive wireless technology, power transfer technology. Uh, we also imported graphene powder from USA to our laboratory, and we tested out how the graphene layer can transfer power wirelessly. Very efficient and very effectively.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you share your screen, sir?
Yeah, I already shared the screen. You can't able to see it?
Yeah, you can't able to see.
Yeah. Did you watch the last video, graphene and graphite video?
Yeah, we watched, sir.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, it's fine, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yes.
So, where are we? Yeah, the cost has been major factor in limiting these kind of technology, because already the monolithic cells which already cost more, but this graphene and graphite will last for long, so the efficiency, the quality, the low maintenance, but cost is more high. For that, we are planning to incorporate the graphene and gallium together to make a separate solar cells which has hexagonal shape, and the top layer will be like a fish eye. I can't able to illustrate that because that's our recent technology we are working on. It's a research, still in research. So it's like a camera lens. There will be the top layer which has an fisheye lens, and bottom layer, as I said before, with these kind of semiconductor materials. And same, we are planning to include the bifacial solar power generation. So we are planning to include the another layer, the same layer at the bottom also. So you can able to generate the power during rain, during, even if you are placing in the snow, or if you are going to place it in any valley. But there is a flaws. You can't able to use this kind of technology in our home. That so we are finding a solution for that, like making a sun rays reflective coat from the side of the entire solar panel. So it's basically attract the sun rays, the visible light into these before entering into directly to the solar panel. So we are working on that technology too, to make it commercial and more effective and efficiency. So this is the thought I have, and I was working off. So this is what I want to share you, because I have very less time, because we are running out of time. So Mr. Dr. Vijay
Yes, sir.
requested me to session. So I want to thank you, Dr. Vijay. Actually, I'm going to conclude the session right now.
Okay.
I hope you all know about the latest technology, latest invention that we are working on, solar panels, solar technology. So this is what I want to say. Thank you very much, Dr. Vijay, and thank
Yes, sir.
you all for watching this session.
Yes, some questionnaire is available, sir. Can you please hold for some time?
Tell me.
Yeah, 1 second. There are one question in YouTube. 1 second, sir. Could you please tell us about transparent solar cell technologies and panels?
Yeah. That is transparent solar cell technology and the panels. So we are going to use the graphene layer, and also with the you can say with the tin oxide, that is indium tin oxide, that gives a flexible and transparent layer, because graphene can be used as a flexible, also it can be used as a transparent layer on the top surface. So we can able to generate the power at the front and also the back side.
Yes, sir. The participants, is anybody want to ask something regarding this session? Please ask me doubt something. Hello, any of the participants is able to ask something? Please, can you raise your hand, or can you Unmute yourself and ask a question. No problem. So can you come in chat box, sir? There are questions will be available. Does nanotechnology has any role in increasing the efficiency?
Yeah, actually, there's someone asked about the BCC unit cells. The BCC unit cells has a packing factor of 0.68 actually. Like some material BCC structure, including like lithium, sodium, potassium. So major ions like positive ions, we are focusing on sodium and ammonium. These kind of ions, which gives a high efficiency and result when we able to when we able to transfer the submerge the PN and P layer. So the metal which has BCC structure is usually harder and less, and it is usually harder and less malleable than close packed materials such as silver, like gold, like that. That's the reason for the BCC. And graphene solar cell is so costly. I think Ramya, she asked, graphene solar cell is so costly. Yeah, basically the graphene, which extraction of graphene is very is simply the scientist was extracted the graphene, the single layer carbon with a cellophane tape. But making the graphene bulk production is very hard to make the process. The refining from multi-layer of carbon from graphite from single layer is very difficult. So the cost and efficiency of extracting the graphene, it takes time and it increases the productivity cost. That's the reason for graphene solar cells are costly. Yeah, the intensity of going solar or switching to electric heating. Yeah, so it is based on 300 nanometer, the solar, the intensity of light rays, 300 nanometer. It won't cause that much heat. And also, why we said gallium and graphene, these both is a good conductor and also good, you can say good conductor of electricity and heat. And also it also acts as a good coolant, like a Peltier effect. So next one, BCC material is feasible method to improve the efficiency. Yeah, it's a feasible method, but it has a high number of slip system that FCC, that slip plane or not closely packed with FCC. Therefore, FCC material tend to deform more easily or more ductile than BCC. The BCC material don't deform easily and or stronger than FCC material. That's the reason. The current high efficiency of solar system, solar power generation. You can say in India we can achieve the maximum is 39.2, the current high efficiency, but the graphene we are expecting to 65% of efficiency. Next. Next question, please.
Yes, sir.
How long GAAS? Okay. Gallium could generate the electricity during the rainy days. Actually, is a Dr. Gallium. There is some pros and cons in this gallium with combining the gallium with the graphene. So we can't accurately say that instead of before testing out, because combining the gallium and graphene, still the research that we are doing personally to it. So during the rainy days, it can generate according to the rain, the droplets of rain. You can say. So it is when it is very drizzling, we can't able to generate that much power. The rain should be steady and constant. According to that, we can able to generate power. You can say very effectively when it's continuously raining, because positive ions continuously tap down over the uh, the thin film layer. When it absorbs the ammonium, the positive ions, it should be constantly, the action should be done very constantly. If rain's just raining for just a minute or 5 minutes in time, you can't able to generate even 10 watts. So it's need a constant power of constant field. Sorry. So
Hello.
I already explained about the photovoltaic and solar energy technology. The difference you are asking about the difference. Yeah.
Yes.
So these all are these cells which have a chemical bonding and material. The photovoltaic is an action which the visible light, the photoelectric, the photons which have to strike over to the semiconducting material, and it start generate the power. So each and every chemical cells will react uh, with this photovoltaic effect. So it's based on each and every chemical will not. All the chemical will not work according to the according in the way.
So one more question.
Tell me, sir.
What is the constructional difference between? One second. What is the constructional difference between tandem solar cell and multi-junction solar cell?
Okay. Sorry, can you repeat the question?
What is the constructional difference between tandem solar cell and multi-junction solar cell?
Yeah. The tandem solar cells, you can say, they are widely available for 30% of efficiency. The tandem solar cells. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem.
Yeah.
So one more question.
Yeah.
Is there any research going on the solar paints that we can coat any surface to generate voltage? If so, how much efficient it is compared to the solar cells?
Actually, people are telling about the solar paints that you can able to generate. That is called thin film CIGS cells. Actually, it is also one of the paint. You can say these kind of paints which are in oxides, like tin oxides, that able to use as a flexible solar panels. Also, graphene we can use as a conductive coating. We also done some experiment on graphene paint. We can source from USA. There is a graphene ink is available. So we also tested with graphene inks with a different layer of combination of solar cells, and it's quietly worked impressively.
So one more. By using reflectors, can we increase output of solar panel?
Yeah, definitely. By using the reflective structure. So basically, the solar panel, the glass layer, it's used to reflect the sun rays when the photon hits directly to to the semiconductor material. Same time, when we use the reflective surface at the bottom area, so the sunlight will get reflected and directly refracted to the solar panel at the bottom area. So that means there will be 4 layers. From top layers we have a NNP channel, and same the bottom layer we have the NNP channel will be reversed with the 4 wires hitting the outlet. So that's how the bifacial solar power plant will use to work.
Yes. Is it possible to use transparent cell at homes?
Not yet actually, because the ground level, you have to see the ground level in the homes that you have this so many blind spot. Actually, the solar plant we only use in the terrace, but when you compare to your home will be in 100 feet height, some other home will be in 150 feet height, so that shadow will used to fall on this. So there's a lot of calamities we have to see. So the reflective transparent technology will not work in the home right now.
Okay.
It's only used for the farms and the power sectors.
Oh,
Power plant.
okay. Okay.
Okay. Shall we end the session?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, thank you, sir. One second. Sir, please, one more question is available.
Yeah, tell me.
What are the possible faults in solar system? And can I know that technology used by industries to locate the faults in the large solar power plants?
Yeah. By using, I couldn't get your question.
Shall I repeat it, sir?
Yeah.
What are the possible faults in solar systems? And can I know the technology used by industries to locate the faults in large solar power plants? Is there any faults in solar system like that? What are the possible faults in the solar system?
Okay, you're asking about the possible. So degradation.
Faults.
Yeah. So mainly it will be open circuit faults, degradation faults. You can say line to line faults. Sometimes we used to have. Sometimes like the diodes, the bypass diodes we used to have between the cells and rays. The bypass diodes fault will be having, and bridging fault when you connect with one bridge to another one, like in a parallelly if you align the 2 or 3 solar panels, bridging fault will be there. You can say these kind of the common faults. And yeah, I think this basically depends upon the weather also. Although the solar energy is still collected during the cloudy time and rainy time, these are the weather time. There will be the fault will be aggressively changing.
One of the participant is asking, can you please tell us about the grid connected solar power system?
Sorry, your voice is breaking.
Okay. Can you please tell us about the grid connected solar power system?
Okay, grid connected solar power system. Okay.
Yes.
So grid connected. Sorry. So the grid connected PV system is electrical power generation, which is connected to the utility grid, which consistent of a solar panel or one or several inverters. So there will be multi layers of solar panels. It's like each and one grid which is connected to another one with an inverter. So each grid of PV arrays will have a separate inverter and separate fuse system and the fuse system and the control charges, and it will follow to the grid. So it will be like cascading one by one. Hello?
Yes, sir. No problem. Continue, sir.
Yeah. So unlike the standalone power system, the grid connected system really included integrated battery solution with it. So there will be an integrated battery. There's still, but it's still very expensive when compared to the normal system. The grid PV system supplies excessive power, but it is expensive.
Yes, sir. So how can we maintain the temperature of panel to increase the efficiency?
Okay. To maintain the temperature of the panel to increase the efficiency, yeah, that's a good point actually. We also using I mean the reflective coat, like a coolant coat inside the solar panel edges. Now we are planning to implement Peltier effect. That's a Peltier effect, which is when you apply the voltage, one end will become a very hotter and another will be very extremely cooler. So if you increase the temperature level between, I mean, if you maintain the temperature level between the 50 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius, and it's a unique constant way of generating power. If it more than high temperature, the efficiency will be go down, and the quality of the, I mean, the panel will be degraded. So we have to maintain the temperature level too.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me, sir.
One more question, sir. How to mitigate the effect of partial shading in solar system in an industrial perspective?
Sorry, can you type me?
Yes, sir. Sure, sure.
Voice is breaking.
Yeah, sure, sir. Are you audible, sir?
Yeah.
How to mitigate the partial shading in solar system in an industrial perspective?
Sorry.
Yes, sir. Shall I type it, sir?
Yeah, please type it. Your voice is still breaking.
Yeah, no problem. Sir, can you some of the questions in chat box? So please, can you go through that one, sir?
Yeah, actually, I was viewing the questions, but I didn't.
Recently, one more question.
Yeah, I didn't receive the question.
Okay.
No, I didn't receive the question.
Chat box is there, sir. Chat box.
Yeah, I was searching for that only.
Okay, okay. So, what is the significance of solar energy in smart grid system?
You're asking about the partial shade.
No, one more question. It's that question will be able to type it. No problem.
Okay.
Okay. What is the significance of solar energy in smart grid system?
Yeah. The significance of solar energy.
Yes,
you mean in the smart grid system, right?
yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Tell me, sir.
Yeah. So that the utilities of longer have depend upon the customer to report outages and itself healing the capacity to virtual component of smart grid. Uh, so what the benefit, I can explain you the benefit the best way to answer this question. Electrical grid we have in place now before the advent of microscopic, both residents and business used for less electricity that we do own. Our current electrical grid was originally able to produce the power over the year, but very efficiently right now. The grid is one of the transmission of the energy from power plant to the transmission line, and also the substation and the transformers to the home, and that and the businesses will be very more and significantly increasing the transformers to each and every area actually.
Yes, sir. Yes. The participants, anybody having the doubts regarding this one, please raise your hands, or can you able to unmute and then ask a question? No problem. Participants, is anybody is there, or shall we close the session? Hello. Yes. 1 second. Yes, kindly ask Mr. Umar Rahman. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. 1 second, sir. Umar Rahman is on. He have one doubts on that. Rahman, sir. Hello, Rahman. Sir. Hello, Rahman, sir. Yes, sir. Please ask.
I think it's more than 1 hour. I have a meeting lined up, so.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So let's
Yes,
do the
sir.
session next time.
Yes, sure, sir. Sure.
Sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. With this, I have to conclude this one, and thanks very much to you, sir, Mr. Vadivelan, sir, and I thanks to you because you are in a very busy schedule, because a lot of work is there. I know about you, and then but at any point of time, or at any point of time, you are accepting my invitation. That's very really great to me, sir. Thank you on behalf of Bapatla Engineering College and Triple Department. And once again, thank you very much, sir. Thank you, and kindly
Thank
give me
you,
this
Dr.
session.
Vijay. I want to tell you thank you, Dr. Vijay, and to the all faculties of the college who have given me opportunity to share my past. And just now I got refreshed about my past working, and
Yes.
also I shared my current research technology to you.
Yes, sir.
So it's good. Students will get benefit, I think. If you have any doubt, please mail me. I can explain you detailedly because I was in a running schedule.
Okay.
So I ran back. But
Yes.
anyway, nice meeting you all. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. As participants, can you please fill the feedback form, which will be available in both Zoom and as well as YouTube chat boxes. Please kindly avail this one, and please fill the feedback form. We make sure that those who the participants use fill the feedback form, then only they are able to get the certificates. So please kindly fill the feedback, which will still active in up to night 8 p.m. Okay. It will be active up to night 8 p.m. Please kindly avail this one. Thank you very much.